Hello and welcome to Good Morning Lancaster. It's Friday of week 12 and we're back with more news and entertainment for the new term.
Today we'll be discussing the latest news headlines and what's happening on campus this week.
We will later be joined by Scan editor Laura Wilkinson to discuss the headlines of the week.
Stay tuned for Good Morning Lancaster.
Welcome back, I'm Claudia Cohen.
And I'm Patrick Hennessy. Thank you for joining us today. And how's your week been, Claudia? It's been all right?
Yes, actually my week has been pretty busy because I've been doing, I don't know if you heard about this, it's like, you know the Times magazine?
Oh yeah.
They're doing a survey basically every year based on like a university reputation, employer reputation, and student satisfaction. And I'm actually doing this, like working, you just like asking like some people to answer the question in the survey, and then you send the answer to the Times. So it's actually quite nice. Yeah.
Oh wow, is this on campus then?
Yeah, it's on campus. It was like a post on somewhere like on the page of the campus, and yeah, some people are actually doing this. So
Oh wow, it's really cool. A lot of other people with you doing.
I know some people who do it as well, who are my friends, and then it's for like only final year students because it's about what they want to do, the careers, the master, and everything. So yeah. What about you?
Oh, I haven't really done that much, yeah.
Not even working in the library? No.
Oh no, I'm too lazy.
Oh,
Oh, this was that for your degree, because you do business economics, don't you?
I know, it's not for my degree. Like, I mean, everybody could do it, like, if they're like a bit motivated, and you get paid at the end, so it's like a good
wow.
and that's why. But for the experience, obviously, but yeah.
Oh nice, that's pretty cool. Oh, well
So let's bring up to date with the latest news headlines.
yeah, and as we mentioned last week, yesterday was Refreshers Fair, and students had the opportunity to sign up for all the opportunities that the university has to offer. Societies, businesses, groups and charities were all there to talk to students.
As usual, Domino's was there to hand out free vouchers for discounts on pizza.
Yeah, did you go to Refreshers Fair?
Actually, no, I didn't go. I went to the Freshers Fair, but I didn't go this time because, I don't know, I think I know about the society and the one I want to join or not, so no.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I was there for LA1.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was really busy. Like, I didn't think it'd be that busy, Refreshers Fair, because I thought everyone would have signed up to
Oh, it was actually
societies.
busy?
Yeah, there was quite a few people there. It was quite small. It was only in the Leica building. But
Okay.
yeah, there was quite a few
Do you
people.
think people actually sign up a lot for like the Refreshers term, or?
I think so. For LA1, there was quite a few people that were interested and
Okay, yeah.
wrote their
I
names
guess, I don't
down
know,
and-
maybe first year people, they're like a bit shy, maybe first term to
Yeah.
join any society, and then they're like, I need to do something with my year. So like, I'm gonna join the society. But
Yeah.
Are you actually part of any society?
I'm part of canoeing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But apart from that, that's it. And LA1 TV.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Only the society on the LA one, and then yeah, I've been a bit lazy.
No.
To be honest, but
Especially with all the work and stuff. Like it's
yeah,
so hard to
exactly. Yeah,
balance.
it's final year and everything, so you have to study and get you to one.
Oh no, I'm not looking forward to final year.
Yeah, chill this year, and then you have time to work. I would say.
Oh, no. Oh god. Well, anyway, in more news, Lancaster is known for being a green campus, but now there is reason to celebrate the fact that staff and students at Lancaster University have received a special award for innovation from the Green Flag Award scheme.
Edible Campus, run by Lancaster University and Lancaster University Students' Union, as part of the Green Lancaster Partnership, is one of just 15 inspirational projects in the UK to achieve the award, which is presented to Green Flag Award or Community Award winning sites that have made changes that have brought outstanding benefits to both the site and the local community.
Green Lancaster coordinator Darren Ack said, "We're honoured to receive this innovation award. The success of the Edible Campus project is down to the creative thinking of everybody involved. The university has been generous in providing us with enough space and resources to make things happen, while our student volunteers have brought a huge amount of passion, enthusiasm and imagination to our project."
If you're interested in checking out Lancaster's edible campus, just head on over to the site, which is located near Lonsdale College.
As always, there are opportunities from the university and the union for volunteering. An opportunity which is open at the moment is to volunteer at schools.
A Moroccan school is looking for student volunteers to work with small groups of children, aged 7 to 11 years old, to help improve their reading or math skills.
The volunteering opportunity will run for 6 weeks and each volunteer will attend the school once a week, either in the morning or in the afternoon.
All students who sign up will be required to attend a short interview and, if successful, will complete an enhanced DBS check and attend a safeguarding training. If you're looking to gain experiences working in a primary school, then this sounds like a good opportunity for you, actually.
Those who are interested in the opportunity can contact Amy Goodwin at a.goodwin3@lancaster.ac.uk.
In more news of opportunities available to students right now, there is the Santander Entrepreneurship Awards 2017, which is the UK's largest student and graduate business pitching competition.
Students have the chance of winning £25,000 funding, mentoring and start-up support.
The competition involves 3 stages where you pitch your idea in a 2-minute video for round 1. Round 2 involves the short listing of 30 successful candidates to take part in regional hits. Those who reach round 3 will receive £1,000 seed money and be invited to prepare for the final event in London.
Oh wow. Entrants are allowed to compete as individuals or as a team. The decision is up to you. If this sounds like an opportunity that would interest you, attend the session in Charles Carter A17 on Monday the 6th of February.
There actually has been an announcement that week 4 is the week of the annual general meeting held by LUZU. This event will be on the Thursday 9th of February in George Forks Lecture Theatre, starting at 6 p.m.
If you need more motivation to go to this, they are also giving away free pizza to the attendees of the event.
Officer report, a scrutiny report on the officer's progress, and then any motions. There is the opportunity for union members to submit motions for addition to the agenda.
If you would like to do this, have any questions or need any help or guidance in writing a motion, then please contact elections@lusu.co.uk.
That's it for the news this week. Yesterday, the Politics Society held a question time event which focused on tackling students' major concerns right now and answering any questions from the perspective of different political parties.
Representatives Labour, Liberal, Democrats and Conservatives were there at the event, along with Rhiannon Jones, LUSU President, and along with us. We were there to record the event. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Describe to LE1 TV about what went on tonight, what the event was, and is there any way you could summarise?
Basically been a chance for students and for political parties to basically express their views on the issues students are currently facing. I have had a neutral view and have just been expressing the facts because that's what the union has to do, but been able to express the facts and highlight the problems students do face and talk and debate and discuss things that are truly important at the current times and for the future, whether it's been from Brexit to tuition fees.
Just wondering what your opinions were on the turnout tonight and how many people turned up for this discussion.
It was bigger than the councillor election. No, it was good. It was good.
I think, yeah, it was nice to have, it was alright, I've seen less and I've seen more, but I think for second week of uni you're always going to get a bit of a bigger turnout than when we did the council one here. It was less because again it was later on. I think people were more keen at the beginning.
I think the turnout was actually quite decent because when it comes to student politics, people don't class it as the real type of politics, and I don't think they realise how topics like the big topics like Brexit actually fit into student politics and how these impact our students currently. So I think it is a good turnout, but as well I thought it was quite interesting how people literally sat in their lines of their parties, which was hilarious to watch.
The first one is, where do you all stand on tuition fees and why is your position the most credible?
Even universities themselves find it hard and they don't want to make these decisions a lot of the times. There's only been one decision that I've been truly morally against, and that has been the fact that they charged the 2016 students that's going to be increased. That was a choice, and they made a bad choice, and I was against it, and I will still continue to be against that. But we are pushed into this position due to decisions made by the government.
All you have to do is go back to 2012 when it was increased from £3,000 a year to £9,000 a year, and every year since up until 2017 the number of students going to university has increased. So I don't believe that the £250 a year added on will make that much difference in terms of whether people can go to university or not.
The next question is, where do each of you stand on housing development by Sugar House, or what are your opinions on it if you are not involved?
We had our own students move into this accommodation and then make a complaint or a noise complaint about our own venue. We're in this very catch-22 position where we want to protect that student and make sure that they are in the correct environment to be able to live and study, but also we have to think of the rest of the union and how that will impact all the funding and how that will impact every single student. So we wanted to make sure that if the planning did go ahead, that all the noise mitigations were in place so that we wouldn't be in this position in a few years' time.
Do you think NUS still represents students, and if not, how could this be dealt with?
Lucy may be doing all right for it, but NUS is the national body which is meant to represent all students and could actually have some power over the big issues, seems to be getting itself wrapped up in stuff that it really doesn't need to be. I mean, the current president has spent her entire time going around apologising to Jewish societies because of how anti-Semitic she was during her campaign. I think the only way to change it is to have people in power in the structures that do represent people. I'm hoping those people are going to come up at conference and that I can vote for them.
When it comes to the NUS now on the democratic side, and currently with the full-time officers and what's happened with the full-time officers, I'm just going to take this off because this is going to be my view. So I think over this year they have been incredibly destructive of the actual student movement. They have decided to put forward, prioritise personal politics and factions over what actually matters to students.
Why is it that students do not care about politics? And I feel like that's a nice one to end it on.
If there was people had more of an understanding about the power that councils actually control, and maybe if we saw more, if you made more clear to the students what you delivered as councillors.
I tried. I made a really pretty poster about it.
But it is a problem to see youth disengagement in politics, and it's not along with easy answers. I don't have a quick solution I can offer.
Students were really engrossed in politics, especially at the moment, and I don't know if it's a mixture between, no offence to you, Lucy, but it's only a councillor, and if it was a general election I might vote. I don't know if there's some.
I mean, my election was on the same day as the general election, and the turnout was, still not the best, despite it being a general election, but still significantly better than 7.2%.
There is one thing that could be done to
10 seconds apparently.
Which is that if you made everybody feel that their votes counted equally, as we saw in the referendum, everybody's votes counted the same, and the turnout was, 73%, much higher than general election.
And we're now joined by Laura Wilkinson. Hi Laura, how are you doing?
Hello.
Yeah.
And you went to question time last night, and what were your thoughts on the whole event?
I did. I thought it was quite interesting. I also think it's quite interesting how they said that the turnout was quite high. In my opinion, it wasn't particularly strong.
Yeah.
I do understand that politics is obviously something that students are disengaged with at the moment, particularly at the student level. They were talking about the lack of turnout at the councillor elections, 7%, I think it was that they said.
7%.
7%. So I think it was the third lowest ever in history.
Oh, wow.
Some of the ones in, for example, I think Lucy said some of the ones in World War II were actually higher. So I mean that says a lot about the way that students are disengaged in politics at the moment. So it's quite interesting to see what their views on it were and how I think that they're going to hopefully try to work towards a bigger representation.
Were there any speakers that you found particularly interesting?
I think there was some very interesting bits I'm sure you've seen from the VT. The president of the union giving her own opinions on the NUS and
Actually, people are giving their own opinion.
Yeah, so that Rhiannon was supposed to be there under her position as president, which is a non-political, apolitical position. But she did give a few opinions of her own, which was quite interesting as well. It's quite interesting to see that some of these representatives for parties and such don't actually have a particularly large understanding of a lot of the things that actually happen, especially with the NUS. I think it's one of those things that a lot of students don't really understand.
I don't think they feel really concerned about this, to be honest.
I think it's so important to the university and to the union, but I think because the union is a middleman between us and the NUS, I think students don't really feel engaged with it, even though in theory the NUS should be the group of students that are representing the whole student body and should be fighting for our rights. I mean, not that they don't always do that necessarily. I've experienced it firsthand. I went to the NUS conference a couple of years ago, so I've seen the amount of bureaucracy that the NUS have. I think it's quite detrimental to their actual the way that they function. So I think in my opinion it needs reform, as does a lot of things at the moment, and I think that's probably how you get more students engaged overall.
And do you think, like, with the turnout last night, are you worried with SCAN and people reading your articles? Does it make you quite concerned?
I think so. I think with SCAN it's a little bit different because it's a media, same as this is, same as LA1. So I think even though people aren't particularly engaged in politics, they're still engaged in student issues. Things still affect them and stuff like that. And SCAN isn't just not just news. It's not just politics, stuff like that. So I think our views on things like our Carolyn section, so fashion and arts and entertainment and stuff like that has increased online. So I think our online presence, we're with the things like a little bit more the nicer things that we actually look that students are actually still really interested in. So I think things like fashion articles. So we've got things like recipes and all sorts of stuff like that, and some really good articles that writers are producing about the pubs in Lancaster and all sorts of stuff like that, like local things that you're still interested in, even if you're disengaged with politics. So
about music as well, no?
Yeah, music. We have a big music section. It's really good as well. We get some really, really good interviews with that. I think one of the ones we're working on at the moment is hopefully getting an interview with Lower Than Atlantis, which is quite a well-known group. They've been on Radio 1 a number of times and stuff like that. So I think, music is particularly strong at the moment. But students are really interested in it, and that always helps.
Do you think you'll be talking about the question time in any of your articles that you're writing?
Probably not. We have got so the next issue that we're doing is a 50th anniversary issue, so it's actually SCAN's 50th birthday.
Oh, is it?
So we've done some interviews with some alumni and stuff like that of the university, have gone on to become journalists and things like that. So you'll have that to look forward to, and then there's also there's quite a lot of news going on. So a couple more interviews from people that have visited the university, and
are you gonna have like old students?
Yeah, so they're previous students of the university who used to either work in student media or in the union, and now they're like pretty good journalists. So I interviewed a guy called Warren Nettleford, and he's a presenter on Channel 5 News. That's really, really cool as well, and it's good for people to see, especially with our writers and stuff, to see where they could end up in a couple of years' time.
Nice. So you have anything exciting from this week about this kind of article?
I think from the last issue, I think I did an interview myself and Michael Mander, the news editor. We interviewed the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Andrew Atherton, and spoke to him about tuition fees. So that was obviously the front page. It's a massive story. They were raising tuition fees, and they were talking about it last night as well. So there's that one in the last one, and then coming up, I think there's a couple of stories. We've got a new writer writing a story about a student who had part of his ear bitten off in Lancaster.
Yeah, I heard about this story actually. Yeah, so what happened basically?
We're not 100% sure at the moment, so we are trying to speak to him and speak to the police as well, because they've given us a statement, but it's very, very vague.
I heard some different explanations, so I'm not sure. But
I mean, we'll hopefully have like the full story next week. So
okay, I think people will be super interested. This is bad though, but to read about this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us, Laura.
Thank you.
Now let's have a look at what's coming up in campus this weekend and in the following week.
Just Play are hosting a session for squash and badminton over the week. If you're interested in any of the Just Play events, just have a look for more details on the LUSU events calendar at lusu.co.uk/events.
TBC has returned. There will be an event on tonight to celebrate everyone returns after a Christmas break. It will be Lancaster's biggest cross-campus event, which is a back-to-school welcome back party.
Host of cash giveaways, DJs, free entry and drinks deals, plus entry to bars on campus is free all night.
There is also the Latin party on tonight in Dalton Room and the Red Light DJ tomorrow in the Sugar House. So let's party this weekend.
Yeah. If you fancy a night in tonight, Take Two Cinema is showing Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. I've seen it, so it's a really good film if you've seen it.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I wrote an article about it actually in Scan, a review of it. I loved it.
Oh,
but I'm a bit of a Harry Potter fan, so.
Yeah.
I think everybody is ashamed to say. So there are also information session being held next week for LUSU Overseas, which is next Wednesday. It will provide more information in the opportunities available to travel to China, Malaysia, India or Ghana. Travel abroad talks are next Thursday in the Cavendish Lecture Theatre at 4 p.m.
Well, that's it from us today. Have a lovely weekend and we'll see you next week.
Bye. See you.